Let's talk about the blue MDFCs from Modern Horizons 3. Sink into Stupor is 1 blue for an instant. Return target spell or non-land permanent and opponent controls to its owner's hand. On the back, it is Soporific Springs. As Soporific Springs enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 life. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. Tap, add blue. I was wondering if we were going to get a counter spell this time around on the MDFCs, but it doesn't look like it, maybe in Modern Horizons 4. But Sink into Stupor does a pretty good imitation. It's 3 mana, you get to bounce something back to their hand. The thing that I really like about this is that it can deal with something in play or on the stack. So either way, it doesn't have to be this very small window to use it. It makes it a little more broadly applicable. Even though it's not very efficient mana-wise, I still think it's worth the opportunity cost to put in most decks if you can find the slot for this land. And I think it's pretty easy to, considering you can probably just take out an island for it. Hydroelectric Specimen is 2 and a blue for a 1/4 creature weird with flash. When Hydroelectric Specimen enters the battlefield, you may change the target of target instant or sorcery spell with a single target to Hydroelectric Specimen. On the back, it's Hydroelectric Laboratory, a land, and as Hydroelectric Laboratory enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 life. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. Tap to add blue. Hydroelectric Specimen is really interesting. It's quite a bit more than I really want to be spending to save 1 creature. That's kind of a 1 mana effect to be able to stop 1 creature from dying. And that's essentially what this is going to do. There's probably some other corner cases, but most of the time, if you actually cast this, you're going to be redirecting a removal spell onto the Hydroelectric Specimen. So I don't know about this one. It's pretty expensive, not efficient at all, but if you're in a deck where your commander is a kill on-site commander and you're already pumping a bunch of these ways to protect your commander into your deck, being able to add 1 more without removing something else that's important and just removing a land is really, really valuable in those style of decks. I think I'm going to try this out in my timey-wimey deck where I've got Rose Tyler that I really want to protect. So I think this one's pretty interesting. I'm not sure about it though. The blue MDFCs this time I think are really interesting. They're both a little inefficient, but they're both really widely applicable effects that you're going to want in most decks. And the weird especially is going to be one that you want maybe more in decks that has a creature you really want to protect, but you could really jam that anywhere. I think these are good. I'm not sure though, so I am going to test them out. What do you think?